So hello everybody. Today we'll be taking a look at this Fiat G50 Italian fighter in Hasegawa in 1/48 scale. Now this is an Italian fighter from the beginning of the Second World War. I got quite a few Italian fighters because they have a whole lot of really unique camouflage I want to try out. I'll take a look at this one first. I think it looks kind of weird with this hump here. It has a really long nose. There's not really much to say about the box art. Take a look here. The instruction sheet. So we start with the cockpit. It looks like it has a pretty decent, good detailed instrument panel. Like normal, we start here with the cockpit. Put the cockpit in, fuselage together. Here, engine assembly. Put the engine together with the cowling. We already put the propeller in here. There's a poly cap for it. Here, wings together. Wings on the fuselage. Propeller. An engine on the fuselage. And there's the hub. And here we're doing the vertical and horizontal stabilizers. And here this tailpiece. There's two different versions of it. Okay, here we're doing the main landing gear. Intake. Put the landing gear on, the tail wheel, wing weights, in the gear bay doors, canopy, the front part of it at least here, pivot tube and some other details. There's a pivot tube on both sides, and then that's in the instructions. It's already built. We have three versions to build. One is from the 352nd Squadron, 20th Group. The second one is from the 359th Squadron, 154th Group. And the third one is from the 162nd Squadron, 161st Group. I kind of like these two. Different patterns. This one looks, I don't know, maybe also interesting, actually. But these paint mixes that they use, I have Model Master paints for, I have Italian olive green and Italian sand and Italian brown. So I'd like to see what I can do with that, because I want one with the desert camo. Well, I guess it's not desert camo, but Mediterranean type, you know. But they all look like that. They're all mixes, so all three have a base of an. All three of them have a base of Italian sand. And these two have the Italian brown and Italian olive green splotches, splinter camouflage. And this one is just the Italian sand with the green, if I read right. But they all look kind of cool patterns. But this one's different on the side than this one, but the top looks the same. I wonder if that's supposed to be right like that. So here are the decals for this kit. They look pretty good, except they're a little bit yellowed, but since the kit is almost 30 years old, it's not a wonder. But for being as old as it is, I still think they look pretty good. You can see there is no decal for the instrument panel. You have here a stripe, which I always paint those on. It looks better that way. And then you have your crosses for the tail and for the wings and the numbers. And this goes on the tail as well. And these are for the propellers. There's not anything other than that. They still look pretty nice for as old as they are, I think. So here we have the only part of the canopy. It's just this. That's a nice frame, a nice looking clear piece. So here is tree. I don't know. I don't see no tree number on it. So here's the landing gear. Looks decent. The wheels look good. The instrument panel is okay. It's kind of, it doesn't have dials in it, but you can see that, I mean, it has all the instruments, but no dials inside. There's a pilot seat. There's no seat belt molded into it. So no seat belt molded into the seat. Instrument panel is lacking dials, but the instruments are there. The tail wheel has a big sink mark in it. You can see here. On both sides. It's going to have to be filled and sanded. There's a mold line in here. No, that's not a mold line. Okay, that's supposed to be like that. Inside of the cowling is okay. No pin marks. The wings. Nice engraved detail. But the wheel wells are completely blank. There's not even a structure in there. So that's going to have to be, I think, built up a little bit. There may be some, hopefully some Edward photo etch for the undercarriage. But it has nice engraved panel lines, some good detail on the wings. No separate flaps, and the flaps are also flat. There's no lines there, no separation at all or anything. This looks like a really simple kit. Has very few parts. So here's the cockpit floor. Also really blank, nothing there. The two different noses, even though they don't look that much different. One looks a little bit bigger. This one looks a bit bigger. Here's the horizontal and vertical stabilizers. Really poor looking engine. Really bad looking. That's not very good. Now this is an old kit though, so you know. Inside of the engine, we got big pin marks here. Big pin marks on both sides. That's going to be actually taken care of, and hopefully we can find a new engine for it. To look and see what kind it is. I'll be linking that into where when we look at the instructions. If I can find anything for it. I think I always do. There are also no guns here. Maybe Master has some metal parts for it, for the guns and the pitted tubes and stuff. So this needs a lot of extra detail. Here the fuselage is also really plain. There's nothing, no detail inside at all. Well, that's an old kit. I'm not even sure. No, 94. I mean, yeah, it's an old kit, but there's stuff from the 90s that are better than this, actually. So, no interior detail, no wheel V detail, really bad engine, sink marks on the tail wheel, no separation in the flaps at all, or in the rudder or anything. It does have nice external detail, nothing inside. So, to make a good kit out of this, you're going to have to really get some aftermarket. I think usually Hasegawa has a lot better kits than this, but this is an earlier one. So, yeah, a lot of aftermarket is needed to make something good out of it. So, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And in my next video, we'll take a look at my P40 Kitty Hawk. It's the British version of the Warhawk, of course. It's a built model. So, until then.